Hello, everyone. My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. It is Sunday, May 2nd at 7:31 p.m. And I just decided to jump on here on a whim. I am testing out new times that I can go live on this Facebook channel. So I'm testing out the 7:30 p.m. Sunday time. I might push it to 8 p.m. and this, of course, is Eastern time. I'm in Pennsylvania. But yeah, it's been a journey. So I'm going to apologize in advance for not giving advance notice of going live, but I will have a replay available on my Facebook page where you can check out the video, and I'll be sure to download this and post this to YouTube as well. Just because I have a situation with my schedule that I can't talk too much about right now, but I'll be able to get into it soon. And I know I've been saying that, but there's definitely some stuff happening. So I have been working really hard behind the scenes to get ready for the upcoming new annual catalog launch, which will actually be happening on May 4th, on Tuesday, basically. So we're going to be working with the in colors today. So let me just put this up. So the 2021-2023 in color collection, you're looking at all 5 colors here, and we're actually going to be making or recreating one of these cards today. This is a rare thing for me because I will actually be doing simple stamping. And if you don't know what simple stamping is, we'll get into that. But the colors that we're going to be looking at today and working with, I'm going to walk you through the products that I have from the new in color collection, and then how to do a really simple card like this thank you card that you're looking at, or how to do a stepped up card, like a fancier card like this one here. So we'll walk through all of that. Just wanted to kind of show you right up front what we're going to be doing here. So let me take down this banner. The other thing we're going to be working with today in terms of new product is called the Elegantly Said Bundle. This is a bundle that's going to be available in the upcoming catalog. So because it hasn't launched yet, let me just give you a look at the cover. So this is the new annual catalog. If you are a customer of mine, if you have spent any money with me in the last 12 months, you should have received this in the mail. If you haven't already gotten it, let me know. This is going to be launching Tuesday, so I can't show the inside of the catalog until Tuesday, but I can show you the products. So this is the Elegantly Said Bundle that we are going to be looking at here. And let me just set this down. I'm going to remove this banner since we've said it a few times. But the bundle is basically the stamp set, which of course you can purchase individually too. And this punch, this coordinating punch. And we've done some fun things with the stepped up version of the cards with this punch. But like I said, I'll walk you through the differences of both as to whether or not you're going to do just stamping, which is what this is, or if you're going to get a little more detailed and actually do the punches too, which is what this is, stamping, punching, and layering. So we'll go ahead and get into it. But I just wanted to mention these are going to be available for purchase on March 4th. If you are already a demonstrator, you can get this as part of a pre-order. Or if you become a demonstrator prior to May 4th, prior to Tuesday, you can actually put, if it's still available, you can put this in your starter kit. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, you can let me know. But just wanted to mention that. So that's what we're going to be working with today. This on its own is called the Elegant Tag Punch. I had to write it down because I don't have these things memorized yet, but that's okay. So if you don't already know me, my name is Melinda Hart. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and my channel and my business is called Stamping with Hart. This is simple stamping. So let's talk about this for just a moment because we're going to make one of these first. And we'll get right into making this card. And then we'll start talking about all of the coordinating products that you can get in the in colors. So here is Soft Succulent. Here is Pale Papaya. Here is, and I have a little boo-boo here, so just ignore that. Here is Fresh Freesia, really beautiful, like purpley pink color. This is my favorite, not gonna lie. This is Polished Pink, my absolute favorite color from this so far. I do like working with all of them. An Evening Evergreen, which this is my second favorite, you guys. Anybody who knows that I'm a fan of Irish sweaters saw my post. It actually perfectly matches my new Irish sweater that I got. And of course, we're getting into warmer weather, so I'll be putting those away, but it's still out. I'm going to try to get away with wearing it a little bit longer. So here are our 5 colors. Now, what we're going to be using today are the note cards and then the coordinating envelope that goes with the note cards. So let me see if I put on the table here. Oh, yes, I did. So for the envelope, I also did a little decorative stamping so that it coordinates. Okay, so just these 2 here. And then, of course, you can just tuck that in there. All right, so you can actually get the basic white note cards and envelopes. It's a pack. They're already pre-scored and everything like that. Makes it a little bit easier so you can see the score line here. I'll bend this so that you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so you can kind of see it. It's already scored. And then we're just going to do our simple stamping right onto it. I am going to use the Polished Pink because it is my favorite. So this is one of the products, obviously, is the classic Stampin' Pad. And you'll notice up here, there's this little rectangle that says in color. So when Stampin' Up comes out with these in color collections, they run for 2 years. So this is a new launch, and these are going to run from 2021 to 2023. I'm just going to open that up. These new ink pads. If you want to know what a nice, brand new, fully inked ink pad looks like, it's like this. So nice to see that. It almost looks red, doesn't it? It's such a nice, bright pink. Okay, and so from the Elegantly Said stamp set, we're going to be using this lace stamp right here. It's pretty sizable. It's a nice size and it's great for corners. I am somebody who likes to frame projects. So this really appealed to me the minute that I saw that it was available in the pre-order. I apologize for my block being a little bit messy. And this is on clear block E. Okay, just so that you can kind of get a feel for the size of it. And then the other stamp we're going to use is the thank you stamp right here. And this is for the thank you card, the simple stamping. And I have this little stamp on stamp A. Of course, you could step it up to B, but it fits. Okay, so what is simple stamping? If you are new to me or to my channel, simple stamping, at least by my definition, I think Stampin' Up's definition too, is paper, ink, and stamps in its simplest form. And you don't go too crazy. So we're only going to do 3 stamped images on this thank you card. Keeps it nice, easy, and simple. So I'm just going to ink this up. The detail on this stamp is absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, if you're joining me live, this was an impromptu live. I'm testing out new live times. Patrick is being very, 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 very sweet about the changes in my schedule. Okay, so we're going to do it this way. I'm going to stamp down. I really hope I inked that enough. That's the one thing about when you're talking and you're stamping at the same time. We'll find out. Okay. All right, perfect. And then I'm just going to do that one more time. So with all these crazy schedule changes and the pressure that I've been dealing with, I just said to him, you know, he works, we both work full time. It's been really crazy. We don't have help or childcare right now. And we've just been really trying to, you know, just between the 2 of us, make sure we are all getting our coverage and our time and a little bit of time to do the things that we love. You know, for me, this is also my downtime, you know, my little break time. So he just got home from work and I was like, would you mind if I did this? And if we tried this time? And he was like, go for it. Or we'll go somewhere right now. So they're out having fun somewhere so that I can do this. And I explained to him about the catalog launch and everything. And he's being really sweet about it. So I know he doesn't watch these lives, but I just want to give him a shout out because I really appreciate him just being cool about it until we can find some childcare to help us out here. Okay, so we have those two. And then our next is going to be the thank you stamp. So I'm just going to ink that up. And we'll put that right in the center. All right, and that's it. So if you're just doing your card and you don't want to actually stamp the envelope, you don't have to. That's just a little extra step. But if you are interested in just doing a little something on the envelope, it always adds a nice touch, a little bit of personalization. That's one of the best things about, when you first start getting into stamping, or if you really do want to keep it simple, you don't want to be intimidated or overwhelmed, but you want to play with your new stamps. This is a great way to do that. And then, don't overwhelm yourself. Just do a simple stamp, just the one side. And it's going to be this little lace stamp right here. So we're going to take our envelope. Okay. And so what I did here was I just did one stamp on the bottom, one stamp here, and I just followed these lines as my guide. This is block I. This is a little bit longer of a stamp. I didn't measure it, but it's got some length to it. All right. And then I'm doing my lace pattern facing up on the bottom of the envelope here. And you can see you can actually center it right in. It's not the entire length of the envelope. I'm trying not to rock it. Just get a clean image there. And then for the flap, when you fold it down, I wanted to have the lace pointing down. So we're just going to follow that guideline one more time. I'm just going to re-ink my stamp. Sorry, I'm trying to do that right on screen here. Okay. Same thing, you can center this, line that up. I may have smudged that a little. We'll see how I did. Did okay. All right, and you could get a little bit closer to the line too if you want. I was down a little bit, but that's okay. It still looks really pretty. Okay, and then we have our simple stamping. Okay, so that's all there is to it for a simple thank you card. Of course, you could put something on the inside if you want. The one thing here, so you could say thank you, and then all the things you do are simply amazing, or however you want to customize that. Now, if you want to do a stepped up version of the card, you can do that. And stepped up just means there's more steps to it. You just have like a little bit more going on with your card. So when I saw this corner stamp, I just immediately thought of a square card. I just thought of squares and that whole thing because I wanted to do the frames and the corners. So I ended up doing a 6x6 square card. Now, typically, when I make a square card, I do it so that it's going up and down. I don't know why. I just always like it that way. But for some reason with the pink one, the polished pink, I did it sideways. So whatever your preference is, I mean, it was totally an accident, but it's fine, either way. So here's the polished pink. And as we get into the actual launch on Tuesday, I'll go into detail about like the designer series paper, the new designer series paper patterns that you're seeing. This is the polished pink. This is the soft succulent. This is evening evergreen. Just tried to do a stepped up version in each color. This is the fresh freesia. And this one is pale papaya. Okay, so again, it's still pretty much a simple design. There's just a little bit more to this card, and it incorporates the punch, and it incorporates some pattern as well. And you can see this designer series pattern, designer series paper, excuse me, coordinates with some of our new in colors, which is always really fun. So here we go. Let me just show you guys. Now, if you start paying a little closer attention to what's going on with the stepped up cards, and I hope my lighting is good enough here. I have like 2 gigantic lights and I feel like it still looks dark. I wonder if there's some way I can adjust my settings. I'll have to look. But if you start looking here, you can start seeing a little bit more of that color coordinated product. So we have the sheer ribbon here in the coordinating fresh freesia. We have the ink. We have this adorable little 3D flower. I don't know if you can see that, but it comes out from the side of the card. We have these beautiful, everybody who ordered these as part of the pre-order, all of the demonstrators went crazy over these because they are so beautiful. I mean, look at the shine on these. These are called the In Color Jewels 2021, 2023. Okay, so they coordinate right to all of our projects. I use them on most of these in different ways, but you can see the soft succulent color there. You can see the polished pink here, and they really just add a little bit of that sparkle. I used the pale papaya here. I have a little boo-boo, just ignore that. So we have the pale papaya. I should have covered that with something. I should have layered something else on there. But yeah, so we'll do another one in the, well, you know what? Maybe I should do a new color. Maybe I should do, so with the soft succulent, for example, with this one, and let me just show you, there's a few different patterns with this. So here's the punch, and I just had it, the punched image. Oh boy, this is how I start. Let me just punch a new one so that we can see here. Here's our designer series paper in polished pink. All right, so here's the punch. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 for this design. And on this one, we actually have it on the outside of the square. So it's on the inside here. It's on the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4. But then we have 2 more in evening evergreen here and here. So you can have a lot of fun with this punch. There's so many different design options that you could do. I just think that this is so beautiful. So we could do this one. I think that would be a nice one. What do you guys think? I just have to change out my color. So let's do that. I'm going to close up my polished pink if we're going to do a different color. And we're just going to clean off our stamp really quick. So the first thing we'll do is we'll make our card base. Well, let me clean the stamp first so that I don't forget and then mix colors. Okay. If you don't have a Simply chamois, I highly recommend it. It very quickly cleans your stamps, and this is a very intricate stamp. Although I'm looking at it, I think my little chamois is a little bit too wet. That's okay. The things that happen when you're live, right? Okay, so let me just close that. We'll give that a second to recover. And I will cut our card base. So for this, I'm going to be using the 12 by 12 basic white cardstock. All right. So here we have the basic white. We're going to be doing the 12 by 12, and we're just going to cut it in half. So we're going to cut it to 6 inches, and then we're going to score it by 6 inches. And one of my favorite things about the trimmer is that when you're doing 6 inches, it's right here at the cutoff line without you having to open the arm, which is really nice. Let me do this in a way you guys can kind of see me here. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to just score it at 6 inches as well. And let me get my blade out of the way. Go back to the line. And then I'm going to use this lighter gray to score. All right. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to actually leave it open while I do my stamping. So if you like making square cards, it's going to need a custom envelope. And if you want to see a tutorial on how to make a custom envelope with the designer series paper, let me know. And I'll be happy to do that. I can always make one of those for you. Okay, so I'm just taking a look at my stamp to see if it's clean. And then we're looking good here. Okay. So this is soft succulent. And we're going to do this 4 times. And we're going to focus on the 4 corners of the card. So I'm basically going to go right to the score line here. It's a new stamp. It's a big stamp. It has a lot of detail. So I just like to give it a little more attention. That doesn't mean you have to. If you are a super fast stamper, this should stamp just as easily. That's just me. All right. So I'll do this side. I'm sorry if that's like looking weird at an angle there. Okay, good. And then I'm going to have to grab my designer series paper. I was going to do the other card, and then I thought, well, maybe I should feature 2 of the colors in the live. So I changed my mind, right? Okay, so you can see here that because we're doing the 4 corners, this is actually going to look a little bit different. It's not that same exact shape. So now we're going a little bit longer than in terms of it going like lengthwise. It's going to be a little wider. So I hope that makes sense. It's a slightly different direction now because we're working the opposite edges or corners, I should say. But for me, even though it's not that exact position, I think it still has a smooth transition to it. And you'll have to let me know what you think in the comments, if you agree with me or not. If you just like doing it the opposite sides, you don't want to do it all 4 sides, you could do that. You could also do the mirror stamping. I haven't tried that with this stamp yet, but I bet it would be beautiful. Okay. All right. So we have that. Now we're not done stamping yet. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut a 3-inch square using that new designer series paper. And let me just pull the original card back in because we're going to be punching some of these elegant tags as well. So this is that leafy pattern that we're going to be using. So let me grab that paper really. Actually, it's right on top. Oh my goodness. That couldn't have worked out better. That was not planned. Okay, so we have double-sided designer series paper. Isn't it beautiful? So we have the leaves here, and you can see the different colors that we have, the soft succulent, the evening evergreen, and they also have, I believe that is our soft seafoam. And then this side is a gingham pattern also in the soft succulent. So either side that you would use would be great. We're going to go with the leaves. I'm going to trim this down to a 3x3 square. I don't want to mess up my cards. I'm just going to set that aside for a sec. Okay. So 3. Can you guys see that? And let me just trim that down. Okay. 3. Okay, let me put this, I'm going to just put this right here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And then here, so you can test this out, right? You can take a look and see how it's feeling for you, you know, from a design standpoint. You know, deciding just which side you want to use. I'm going to use the leafy side. I just thought that looked really cute with our little pattern that we have going on here with the elegant tags. So the next thing we're going to bring in are our cardstock in the 2 colors. So Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. And the one thing I wanted to say about this, let me see if I can grab it. You guys should see my table. It looks crazy. When you start punching all these out, save the negative, because what you can do is layer this over a piece of paper and make a completely different card. If you guys are into slimline cards right now, or if you're scrapbookers, this is going to be fabulous. So hold on to these, just kind of do them right in a row. But anyway, we'll do some of these. We'll punch some of these out together. So here is the Evening Evergreen. Here is the Soft Sea Foam. And let me just mention quickly that you can purchase the cardstock in these new in colors in several different ways. You can purchase an entire pack, 8.5 by 11 in the one shade, or you can get a sampler pack, 8.5 by 11, where you'll get 2 sheets of each in color, I believe is what it is. It might be a few more than that for the in colors because there's only 5. I'll find out for sure and let you know. But you can do a sampler pack, or you can get all the colors with the 8.5 by 11. You just don't get as many, or you can get a whole pack of just that color. So if you have a color you really love, that's going to be fabulous. All right, you guys can see I have all this scrap under here. Okay, we'll use pretty new cardstock sheets. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you is you can also get this in 12 by 12. So if you're looking at this square card and you're thinking, I really like that, but I would much rather do tone on tone, you can actually do that. You can get the 12 by 12 sampler pack, and that will give you all 5 of the in colors in the cardstock in 12 by 12 that you can make 6 by 6 cards with too. So that's also something that you can keep in mind. So we're going to punch 2 in Evening Evergreen, and we're going to punch 4 in the Soft Succulent. All right. We're just going to kind of go right in a row. All right, we need 2 more. Aren't they fabulous? There are so many different things that you can do with these. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll start composing our design here. I'm going to grab, I think I have my tape runner. Yeah, this is actually the stronger adhesive, so don't mind me. This just happens to be the one that's available on the table. This is my Stampin' Seal Plus. So as you can see here, we're actually going to put down the 4 soft succulents first. And here's the trick to this. So our little point is going to line up with this little design right here on each one. So if I lay this right in the center, and I'm going to pick these up and glue these back down, but I just want to show you for the sake of designing. Okay, so just put it right there in the center, as close as you can get it. Center, even though it's not perfectly symmetrical, it should still work. Okay, and then we'll put that layer down first. Then like a diamond shape, basically, we're going to put this down over top. So we should just see those designs peeking out. And then here, we're actually going to put top, bottom, okay? So that design starts to build out. And then we're going to do our circle punch. I believe it's the 2-inch. Yeah, we're going to do a 2-inch circle punch in the basic white, and we'll do a little stamping with the soft succulent to finish off our card. And we'll add 2 of these beautiful jewels. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. I was playing around with this. I was doing all of these different versions with the punches, and I lean towards elegant projects. I just like that. It's a style of mine that I have always loved. I love vintage. I love elegant. I love things that are fancy. I also love things that are fun, but this really stood out to me because this punch was very uniquely shaped. And I don't know if you're familiar, but I love Halloween. And just taking one look at this design, I can think of 15 different things that I could do with Halloween projects with this punch. So you know how it is whenever a new catalog comes out and it's so exciting, but you just immediately gravitate towards certain products. Like the minute you see it, you just start visualizing things with it. And that's what happened with the elegant tag punch for me. Okay, just going to put this down. So remember, I'm just going right to the center of these little designs here. Okay. 6x6 cards, by the way, whenever you're doing these custom sizes and shapes, are going to be more postage in the mail. So this might be the type of card that you make for a very special occasion, or if it's going into a gift bag, or if it's going into a larger package of something that you're already shipping to someone. That's just something to keep in mind. Or if you go to the post office, just check with them as to how much the postage is going to be. I haven't mailed a 6x6 on its own in a while, so I would have to check to see what that costs now. I'm not 100% on that. Okay, so I'm just going to try to get that as even as I can. Basically just want these points where there's a little bit of white in each area. Just going to lay that down. And now we're going to put down these. I'm going to go right to the point. And it's a little hard to see that point because it's like white on white, but we're not over. We're still within that square. Okay. And now I am going to grab, I thought I had some extra basic white here. Let me see. All right. So here goes our next step. And on this one, I raised the actual sentiment up on dimensionals, and we'll do that here too. So I'm gonna just keep with the same stamps here. So we're gonna do the wishing you a wonderful birthday, and then we'll do a little bit of this flower stamp, and I'll show you which stamp that is if I haven't covered it up on my table. Let's see. Okay, so that is this little flower stamp here. And then the wishing you a wonderful birthday, which I think I already have mounted. Yeah. And that fits on block B. So what we're going to do is stamp the sentiment first. I thought I brought out my, my protective paper pad, but it doesn't look like it's here. So it's okay. All right. So let's do our soft succulent ink. Wishing you a wonderful birthday. We're going to do it center. We want the whole thing to fit, but we're going to do it lower. So I'm going to line up this little Y, or no, that's an F. Under the birthday, it almost looks like a comma, just with the bottom of the circle. Okay. And so we have all of this white space left over to get the impression of the flower. It's not going to be the entire stamp, but it will be a good part of it. Okay, so This doesn't quite fit, but we don't have to worry about it because we're only going to use this part. All right, so there we go. Okay, so wishing you a wonderful birthday. We're just going to put that right on top. I'm going to grab my dimensionals, which I have here. Excuse my arm. All right, I would say four dimensionals for this one, just to give it some stability there. Okay. All right, and just going to set that down. Perfect. And this, as you can see, when you first stamp the ink down, doesn't it look darker than this over here? It will dry in just a few moments. Okay, so we're just going to finish with the gems, or the, I should say jewels, I believe is what they're officially called. Yeah, the in color jewels. So I'm going to use the soft succulent. They come in two different sizes. There's the larger size, and then there's also the smaller size. I'm going to do two larger. Just going to go right into the center points here. I didn't bring my take your pick tool with me to the table, so don't mind me. This would be much easier with that, but it's okay. Just going to center that up. Fold this down. If you have your bone folder, just smooth this out. Okay. And here we go. Okay, so we have our simple stamping project here with our simple stamping thank you. And then we also have, I should show you the polished pink since that's the one that we did. The simple stamping, which is literally just ink, stamps, and paper, or in this case, cardstock. And then we have the stepped up version, which is actually using the bundle, the inks, and the punch, and then getting a little bit fancier in some of the other coordinated products. So before I end this live, and I want to thank you, whether you're here live or in the replay, I appreciate having you here. I appreciate you giving a like to this video or leaving a comment. That always helps in terms of getting seen here on Facebook or on YouTube. So I want to walk through the products that I was telling you about that you can get in color coordination. One of my favorite things about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is the fact that they make so many products that color coordinate, that make it so easy for us to design projects. So you just saw some of that with the two cards that we made, but let me just show you a few other things. Sorry about that. They were on the other table. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about with the cardstock. It's better if I can show you, right? So you can do, oh, you actually get 4 sheets of each. So there, let me correct myself. Because it's 5 colors, typically a color collection for us is 10, but because this one is 5, you get 4 sheets of each. If it's a 10, like a color collection like brights or neutrals, it's 2 sheets of each, I believe. Okay, so here's the 8.5 by 11, but you can see all of the colors are in there. And then here is the sampler in 12 by 12, which I realize I'm like in a close-up mode here, so that's kind of hard to see too. But again, all of the colors are here. So just so that you know that that is available for you, there's 2 packs here because I like doing 12 by 12 projects. I like 3D projects. Like if you're going to be making gift boxes or gift bags or something like that, it's so nice to have the 12 by 12 paper on hand. Or like I said, if you have a particular color that you love you can get the entire pack in that color too. So you have those options. When you purchase the ink pads, you can buy them individually, or you can buy all 5 as a collection. And when you buy them as a collection, you get a discount. Okay. Then they also have this really beautiful, and I realize this is a little bit of a sloppy setup here. They have this really beautiful coordinating ribbon in each of the colors. And I see that it's kind of messing with the look here. So here we go. So here's the Evening Evergreen, and you can see that shine on those. This is a classic ribbon. This is very easy to work with and tie, which was important to me when I'm making card projects. But we have all the 5 colors here. Now, here's some really fun colors to work with. So this is the Loose Flower Flourishes. And how cute are these? 3D. I hope I'm doing these any justice. You can see there's a couple of different sizes. There's the small and the large. And we have these in the new in colors, 3 of them anyway, that you can see here. These are great, absolutely great. They're really going to make an impact on your projects. Some of the other stuff that I have here are these beautiful ombre gift bags. And you can see we have it in the Fresh Freesia, in the Polished Pink, which is my favorite. Here it is in Evening Evergreen. Here it is in Soft Succulent. Here it is in Pale Papaya. So again, really fun coordinating products to go with this. And I would not be doing this any justice if I didn't go over the markers. So you guys know I am a huge fan of the Stampin' Blends. And Stampin' Blends come in packs of 2 of whatever color that you're purchasing. So for example, this is Soft Succulent in light and dark. Light and dark. And up here, I have the Stampin' Write markers too. So you can get the Stampin' Write markers in the in colors. Okay, so 5 markers. You get a journaling tip side, or you get like a brush tip side. And the great thing about Stampin' Write markers is that you can take a marker, or more than one color if you want, and you can color right over top of a stamp. Stampin' Write are safe to do that, and they're designed to do that. Lots of different fun tips and techniques you can do. You cannot do that with a Stampin' Blend because these are alcohol markers. So don't color directly onto your stamps. You want to protect your stamps, but I wanted to mention that. So you can get all 5 in colors, 2 markers each, with the Stampin' Blends. Okay. So nice. I was so thrilled to be able to get all of these. Okay. Now, a few other products that I don't have, they have designer series paper for the specifically for the in color in 6x6. They have some really cool, I think, vellum that I haven't been able to get my hands on yet. And I think a few other products that I'm not thinking of at this moment. But this is a really good start. So you can see that we have these coordinating jewels and gift bags and ribbon and markers and little 3D elements like the Loose Flower Flourishes. We have the cardstock. And in some of the different designer series paper packs in 12x12, they even feature the in colors. So wanted to walk you all through that tonight. I really hope that you had fun. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to let me know. Let me just show the projects one more time. And we have, just depending on the project that you're looking at, you know, I tried to feature as many of the stamps as I could from Elegantly Said. So here's the little flourish here that goes so nicely if you have circle dies or circle punches. And then we have For You here, wishing you a wonderful birthday here with that flower stamp. We have, as I was saying here, we have the punches, we have the 3D element, we have the happy anniversary stamp here. We have this coordinating ribbon all in the Fresh Freesia. Here, a slightly larger circle punch. So this is the 2-inch. And you can see how beautifully this goes on either side of that circle. All the things you do are simply amazing, which again is from this stamp set. So really wanted to try to feature that, but particularly with the darker colors against the basic white, look at the detail on that. This is such a spectacular stamp if you love lace or vintage or elegance or framing of any kind with your projects. They just couldn't go better between the punch and the stamp set. I think that this was so beautifully designed. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed these projects today. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. If you're watching the replay on my YouTube channel, I just want to say, if you haven't already subscribed, I would love to have you subscribe or leave a comment. I love hearing from you. It's how I know what you like and what you want to see. What would you do? Would you do simple stamping, just something really easy? Or would you do a fancier card with the elegantly said bundle? I would love to know. All right. Thank you so much and have a great night. Bye.